You're not going to believe this. I mean, come on. This is just shocking and disgusting. And watch this all the way to the end. Hit the like button, by the way. Help me get started back again. You're not going to believe this. And I want to hear your thoughts about it. Politics is corrupt and it's disgusting. And right now, I'm ashamed of the whole nation being obsessed with the Epstein files and trying to find dirt on Donald Trump, who isn't a saint. But we allowed this, what you're about to see, to be out there in broad daylight in public knowledge for like what, the last 12 years. All right. I don't understand it. I don't understand what people's obsession is with the Epstein list, but what you're about to see here with a person that shows obvious behavior of being a PDF file and even admitted, and as a family member talking about how this daughter was forced to take showers with the dad and be naked through her, like, what, 14th, 15th birthday? Who does that? I mean, and there was talk that he had done things, okay, but this information is public knowledge and nobody talks about it. Check this out, though. Let's flip over here and let Brian Maxwell do the heavy lifting. Let's just watch this. It's all right here. And tell me why you guys, anybody, give me a reason why you're more obsessed with Donald Trump, where, like I said, he's not a saint. But there's no evidence that he's a PDF file. There's no evidence in any of this Epstein stuff that there was children abducted and held captive down on the island. I don't know where people are coming up with this from. Share it with me if you know, because I don't think you can, because it doesn't exist. So there was some 16-year-olds, mostly 18, and people trying to, break into Hollywood and be famous and stuff that were volunteering to be doing stuff for Jeffrey Epstein, who was a CIA asset, and his job was to get pictures of idiots like Bill Clinton, who were easily lured in by money and booze and women and nudity and debauchery, and worked pretty well as blackmail. But anyway, let's just watch this, and you tell me what you think. This is shocking and disgusting. Here we go. I don't even know if this video, if they'll even let me keep this up, but let's just go ahead and start this. Here we go.
This video out, though, of Joe Biden with children, and I had to search for this. I had to search for this because they tried to remove all of these clips. When he was running for president, man, there used to be clips all over YouTube. When he started running for president, campaigning, they were getting rid of all of them. And luckily, I found somebody who created a collage. Check out these clips, and you tell me, are these weird or not? And this is him as VP.
Stand right next to me. There you go. And then we're going to have...
He starts it off with yanking this little girl. Watch how forcefully he grabs this girl and moves her. Then I'll let it play on.
Stand right next to me. There you go. And then we're going to have...
There you go.
Got it? Okay.
And if you on the back, you can spread out a little bit.
Do you remember that, Jordan? No, not smile. No date till you're 30. Hey, Angel, how old are you? Good, 12, what you did? How are you? The problem is, you guys, you got a hard time.
Yeah.
All right, sister. I like kids better than people.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. That's nice.
No, I'm not saying. He knows. Do you know what my dad used to say? His granddaughter said, one important job.
Now you tell me that that's not weird. And all of those people are such butt kissers that they let him touch all over their child and do all of this stuff. Now, one mother, Chris Coons' wife, if you look at her, the lady right here in the background, now Chris Coons has a very uncomfortable face, but look how he's just staring there. We know he's a butt kisser. Flat out, we see it all the time. Because any man that would allow another man to grope his daughter in his face, I don't care what their position is. I remember one time I had a owner of a company that I was doing business with. My daughter just happened to be with me. And he said something about her. Oh, man, look at her. She's really filling out. In the room, the needle scratched. And I said, hey, Lonnie, listen, I shouldn't have said his name, but I said, hey, excuse me. let that be the last time you make any references to my daughter's physicality, period, especially around me. Oh, Brian, I didn't mean anything. Okay, well, if you didn't mean anything by it, it'll be easy just to never do again, right? Point blank. No. But look at this. And watch this mother. She's going to play it off as she dips her head in to listen to what he's saying, and watch her tap him. Watch her tap Joe's shoulder like, hey, that's enough. So these folks are off the chain. So for Hunter saying that, you know, there's been some things, and that's not even the worst of it, y'all. There's clips that are even worse. Now, here's another clip of Hunter, and
oh man. Okay, I don't know about you, but that was hard to watch. That was hard to watch. This is the second time I've seen it, and I thought it'd be easier to watch the second time than the first time, but I'm even more uncomfortable the second time. I don't like to see that. That's just disgusting. And him sniffing girls' hair. If he would have sniffed my two daughters like that, you would not know me today, because I would be in jail, because I would have busted him in his face. He would have had a broken nose. He'd have got laid out on the spot right there. I would have cold cocked him if he would have done that to my daughters. And I cannot believe that people actually let this weirdo grope their kids like that. And the shocking thing is, it's all right there on video. Oh, God. Now, post in the comments and tell me, did that make you as uncomfortable as it made me? And again, why do we not talk about this? Why are we every day, Epstein files, Epstein files? And everybody's digging up trying to find Trump doing something inappropriate with underage girls because they like to call him a PDF file. And there's not a shred of evidence on planet Earth. That whole thing is a mess. I mean, they're talking about prosecuting Pam Bondi and putting her in jail because she didn't redact the names of the men who did the dirty work. But even if they did, what do you think would happen? So if they revealed the names of the men that are in those files, what are they going to do? Nothing. Because if they knew what the names of these guys were that did these things, why weren't they put in jail in the first place? So apparently government is that corrupt that there are enough rich, famous, influenced people that they've got the power to pay off the government to keep them on their side and prevent themselves from ever being held accountable or going to jail for what they were doing. This is really sad. But for Biden, out in the open, in broad daylight, on video, and nobody says a mumbling word about this to this day. We have the evidence on video. We have his son talking about how his dad took showers with his sister. Okay, the sister came out talking about how her dad forced her to be naked in the shower through her teenage years, and making statements about inappropriate things that went on, but nobody seems to talk about it. And I'm perplexed. You know, as hard as it was for me to watch that, and as revolting as it is, I don't understand where we are today in society where nobody says a word about this, and all we're doing is wanting the dirt from the Epstein files. Can you sit here? Can you imagine how many real child cases that are going on right now, and how many people that have been arrested just this year alone and put in jail for trafficking, and none of them have made the news and nobody talks about them? Now, imagine that, but everybody wants to sit around and talk about the Epstein files for stuff that happened 20 years ago to teenagers. We're messed up, man. This society is messed up, jacked up, and both sides are jacked up. Republicans, Democrats, pretty much most politicians have been ruined. It's the lust of power and money that corrupts the minds of people. And the one thing I can say is this: Bill Clinton grew up poor, and he was drawn in by the power to politics and then the money. He became corrupted. And then Jeffrey Epstein, who I believe was a CIA operative, lures him in and, you know, can get him to come to that island and swim with naked chicks, drink and do whatever. and all the while he's taking pictures. Now, do you think for a minute that Bill Clinton would have thought, should I really be here and not be questioning why Jeffrey Epstein is taking pictures? I mean, who would do that? But there he is taking pictures, but he got him. Now, Donald Trump, who by no means is an innocent man, was already rich before he got into office, so it's lust of power, yeah, but Jeffrey Epstein, there's no pictures of Trump in that pool naked with anyone. Why? He didn't have to go down there to have that. He was already rich and influential, whereas Bill Clinton, this is new stuff to Slick Willie. So I don't think there's anything there that's on Donald Trump. But all that's water under the bridge. I'm still disgusted that we let all this information about Joe Biden be out there and nobody says anything about it. Nobody's discussed it, and this makes me sick. That's so sad. That's so sad. I gotta go. Bye.